Digivolve into Ultimate. I like Tatsumi, like you keep turning into a fucking Digimon here. I said it last chapter. I'm saying, God, stop Digivolving because you look more and more like fucking War Greymon in every single chapter. Now that's kind of the interesting thing that we know that like Akame ga Girl's like only got a couple more chapters after this. I believe after this one it's like 3 more chapters or even 2 at this point, since we've already now defeated the Emperor and that they said that we'd have one more volume left in the material. But with this chapter being titled Kill the Emperor and all that, certainly that happened right at the very end. So throughout the entirety of this chapter and all that, it was Tatsumi and it was Wade taking on the giant Mega Gundam Teigu that we could find around, and pretty much is that like the entirety of it and all that was like, we saw like Wade showing off his like skills and all that, going against, you know, around and going, let me your power and all that, he's like deflecting a ton of shots and all that. Tatsumi's having a very hard time. You see like how much dragonized he is and all that from the entirety of it, like, you know, like he's got the scales all around him now like that, he's got the teeth and he's like, yeah, I need more power, I need more than I've actually even gone. And it's like you see that the actual armor itself is changing more and he's like, give me more and more, and then he finally transforms into like this final form, but then it just keeps changing every second, which like at first it looked fucking terrible. Like, I'm sorry, but the like the second version that had like the eyes on it and like it looked fucking terrible. I genuinely thought it's just like there's this like, it was just so badly proportions like going into it. But I tell you what did look really cool at the end and all that. I think that was the kind of thing that especially the last bit of this chapter was going for, is when he started losing control of it, and that he actually had, like, when it was changing, it had all the eyes around it, and it had the tail, and it had the spear, and I was like, okay, alright, I appreciate that. And honestly, like, the most of the chapter can be said very kind of quickly, where it was like, a lot of it was Tatsumi trying to, like, give him a chance, saying like, look and all that, you know, all your subjects are like in fear of you and all that, like you need to get like, you like stop this and all that, you're being crazy and all that. And he's just like that, like the Emperor's like, oh only like, I can see when it comes to all that, the victor of this battle and all that is like, wait, our great empire, it will thrive another like million of years and all that, like a millennium, and it will survive. And he's just like, Tatsumi's like, you know, this fight is over and I'll give you one last chance and all that. And he's just like, no, I refuse that. And it's just like, you know what and all that, like Wave and all that, you go and take care of everyone, you go and like make sure the civilians are safe and all that, so I don't have to worry about like, you know, letting myself loose and all that. And it's like, even that and all that, it was like, you know, like what everything happened and all that is like, oh, the castle gates have been opened, all the Imperials and that are pouring out in mass and all that, we're able to get in here. We've won. The only things that we have to do is take down the giant Teigu and S-Death, and then victory will be all ours and all that. So it's like, this is what like Tatsumi doing, and S-Death appeared right at the very end trying like attack Tatsumi, but like what we saw and all that, Akame came in with the slash and all that, stopping her. And the interesting thing was like when she was saying like, oh, you won't be able to hurt me, Akame, and it was like, oh, she's actually able to go in there, and she's saying like, you somehow like enhanced yourself and all that, like you've enhanced yourself with a Teigu and all that, which if you remember in the anime, she cut herself with her like with her blade, which gave her an enhancement and had the blade. So I'm wondering if this is the same thing, since most of the stuff has happened in the series like the same time. And pretty much when we saw the end and all that with Tatsumi taking care of it, he was now about to lose control. And I kind of like that we saw Bulat one more time and all that, because I really like Bulat a lot and all that. It was nice to see that he was a badass and all that. He's saying, you know, there are moments and all that you need to shout Tatsumi, shout at the top of your lungs, and just seeing him there saying like, you know, one last push, man, one last, and just Tatsumi just there like all dragging like the teeth and everything. I was like, Jesus Christ, what this man's like gone through and all that. And he's just like, let's do this, brother. If anything I liked in this chapter, I really liked kind of like the final push, like where it's just like, let's do this, brother, gets the spear, and you see like the final version of it with like the teeth and everything, and it was like, oh, the blade and the tail. And I really liked that one and all that, of the version of the final form. I was like, that's good. And it's such a like, you know, we are Night Raid. Like that I think anything like, it was way better done than it was in the anime, I'll say that much. Like, but then it was still mostly the same stuff that was like kind of kicking around, and then he pretty much was like the golden Digimon like around at the end, and it was just like still pretty much dealt around like the same scenario. And just like the only thing different is that Honest isn't there, like he left like the kid and all that, and he's like, yo, fuck this, so he's gonna try and bail out, and pretty much that's where the chapter ends and all that. The entire empire is like flourished the like 1,000 years and all that has fallen, and that is literally in the air. So I'm sorry if this wasn't an entirely detailed chapter of this one, chapter 74, but there was honestly not a lot to say, and like if you saw pretty much like I think this like was like a quarter of the episode of the final episode or so. Like I believe like it was either the second to last episode or the final episode of the comic, but I think it was the final one that was S Death versus like Akame. So that's gonna be happening. I think next chapter is that's when Tatsumi is gonna die because he's already gone overboard with his body and all that, and that's gonna be him completely done. And we're going to pretty much wrap it up with Akame versus S-Death, and pretty much there. The question is, where is Honest right now? What's going to be happening with him? We don't know what's happening with, like, if Karome's dead and all that. She's like she's already coughed out blood, and that's the last bit of the life. We already see, you know, since, like, Wave is over there, like, dealing with his own stuff and, like, trying to protect the civilians, and that's pretty much the last thing that we got to do and all that. Like, after that, S-Death's the final barrier, and that's it for us to do and all that to, like, go in the series. So, we probably have 2 chapters left, 2 to 3 chapters left of the series. So, that's, like, it's like, in the end of the day, like, I've said it, like, numerous of times already. Yeah, it upsets me that, you know, that Akame's ending in a way and all that, but when it kind of gives us the same material as the anime did, and I didn't like it, it just really just comes upon very lazy. Like, it just screams, like, kind of laziness and all that, and I kind of wish that they did something, because that's what I liked about once the anime, like, when they kind of, like, caught up and all that. I really liked that about the tournament, because I really liked, you know, when they're in that Colosseum area. I loved that stuff with Mine. I thought that was amazing. Like, I really enjoyed that moment and all that with her, but it's like, still, it just annoys me that, you know, that it just feels carbon copy, and it just feels lazy, and I really do hope that at least with their next series that they do something a little bit better, because like I've just noticed as well, like the story just seems just flat now. It just seems like this monumental moment for me just didn't hit me as much as I thought it was gonna with like Tatsumi, but the more I appreciated was seeing the old characters again. I liked seeing Bula, I liked seeing Chelsea, I liked seeing like Shelley, I liked seeing like the old characters all there and all that for like one last time, just saying, you know, do the final push, Tatsumi, you know, end everything, and that was the more. So overall, I didn't hate this chapter, but I was really, really like, wow. This is literally the same material that we've had, like, albeit excluding, like, kind of Wave for the most part, and like dealing with this. So honestly, I'm gonna give it a 5.5. Like, I generally like wasn't that really impressed with this chapter, but I am like in the anime, the S-Death and Akame fight is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a good moment, but we'll see what's going to be happening with, you know, Tatsumi at the end and all that, whether he's going to be dying and all that, but I definitely say that probably the pluses of this chapter, like, I think Tatsumi's very, very final form and all that, like, not the first version of it, where it was just all bulked up. I didn't like that, but I loved it when it was, like, completely dragonic at that point and all that, had, like, all the dragon armor on it. I really liked, like, when he had, like, the multiple eyes and the like, I really loved the spear being involved in the tail. Like, I really did like the final design, and I wish we had, like, a full-up detailed version of that, but just the first version of it, like, the bulkier one, which, because I really liked this, like, the second transformation that he had, which was, like, the slim version of it, which was, like, a lot better, it looks sleeker, and it looks a cooler design, and I thought that was a really cool, but, nah, yeah, I don't know, just right at the end, it kind of mucked up, and just, honestly, yeah, story-wise, it just felt like carbon copy from the anime, and it really annoyed me, albeit, like, a couple of changes. So, like, let me know what you guys think, but that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and I will see you beautiful bastards, though, next time.